Question 17, this looks to me like a punctuation question, but again, the naming conventions don't matter. The tactic is the same. You want to look at that text and find the sentences. How many sentences are there? And join them in logical ways. Now, one thing that you might do is you look at ABCD choices. Now, don't consider the choices, but look at just the words, essays, praising. Just keep those words in your head as you go into the text, and then kind of fill it in with a rough answer using those two words. But don't look at the punctuation, and don't be influenced by those right away. I'll show you what I mean. So the question, the text is saying, American writer Edwige Danticat, who emigrated from Haiti in 1981, has won acclaim. She's been recognized for her powerful short stories, novels, and essays praising her lyrical yet unflinching depictions of her native country's turbulent history. Okay, sounds great. I plugged it in and it sounds nice. So essays praising was my rough answer. I picked C. And that's how you get the wrong answer. The answer is totally not C. If you picked it, don't feel bad though. This is what happens. The problem is, I mean, do you recognize the problem? Do you see what I've done wrong? I've not read to the end. And that's the killer of scores. I've not read to the end. And if I did read to the end, you would see that, I would see that I missed the subject. Writer Robert Antoni, subject. Has compared, verb, Danticat to Nobel Prize winning novelist Toni Morrison, which is another full sentence. So I have two full sentences. So if I just pick C, I have made an error called a comma splice error, which you might have heard before. Your English teachers have maybe used that word before, comma splice error. But just in case you haven't heard it, comma splice error means comma joining error. To splice means to join. I mean, I was in Scouts back in the day, and we had to take two pieces of rope and join them together. That's called splicing ropes. In the same way you can splice sentences, but to splice them with a comma is a problem. That happens when you have a full sentence and another full sentence and a comma, which is wrong. How do you correct that error? There are three things that you could put instead of a comma. What are they? Think about it before I say it to you. I mean, there's many options, but the three that I like students to think of is that you could put a period. And on the SAT, a period is legit. I mean, the period is sometimes the correct answer. So don't be shy to just put a period. You could put a semicolon, because semicolons join two full sentences together. More about that in my punctuation lesson. And you could also pick a full sentence and the comma and another full sentence. Now, I'm saying here SVO, meaning a full sentence. That's the way I do. If you've seen my other videos, you know I always say SVO to mean full sentence, even though not every sentence needs an object, which is what the O means there. Just looks like a nice Lego block, Lego piece to me. And as we get to develop more complicated sentences, you'll need to know SVO to see the shapes. Anyway, C is wrong. What's the answer? You know. You already know this. I'll read it one more time. Edwige Danticat has won acclaim for her powerful short stories, novels, and her essays. To that point, it's a full sentence. Essays. Period. Praising could be an introductory sentence, an introductory phrase that's opening a new sentence. So what I'm saying is it could be an ing phrase that is modifying the subject. When you put ing with a comma as an introductory piece that modifies the subject, that subject is now doing two verb actions. So before I get too more complicated, let me explain here. Praising her lyrical depictions of her country's turbulent history, Robert Antoni. So Robert Antoni is praising her depictions, and Robert Antoni, in doing so, has compared her. Two actions at the same time. That's the purpose of that grammar. The answer should be a period. That's my rough answer. D is the answer. Why is it not A and why is it not B? Those are good questions. Glad you asked them. Let's have a look. A is a comma splice because it would still have that comma. And there are two full sentences. A, no comma, but still two full sentences. That's a run-on. A run-on is where you have a full sentence and another full sentence just smashed together. Right? This is a good way of thinking about it, because if you just see that there's a yellow part, which is a full sentence, and a blue part, which is a full sentence, how do you join two full sentences? There's only three ways. Period, semicolon, comma, end. Having a comma doesn't fix it. Having nothing doesn't fix it. Having nothing doesn't fix it. Having a period fixes it. Done. It's fixed. D is the answer. Move on.